November 20th, 2020, as Clay Corn Day in Chaves County, and in addition, the commission proclaims that Mr. Corn has served his time and is hereby paroled to a well-deserved retirement, done this 19th day of November 2020.
No, you can't see this.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Bennett, for that kind words. Thank you. Appreciate that. Stan, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to present this plaque in appreciation for your 25 years of outstanding service and commitment to the citizens of Chaves County and Chaves County Detention Center Administrator, presented by the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Now you can sit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Will I hold it up?
Yes, absolutely. There you go.
1, 2, 3.
Clay, thank you so much.
1, 2, 3.
Everybody
Oh,
smile.
I forgot. I forgot to wear mine that says I am smiling. Wrong day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Not that.
Oh,
We'll sign it and get it back.
okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for
Thank
everything.
you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say Clay has done an outstanding job, and I know he's very proud of the fact that he's never had an escape. And that is one of the most important things that these people do, and they keep us safe so we can sleep at night. And I want to thank Clay, because I can tell you he's been called at every hour of the night for issues and stuff, but it's always worked out. He's done a good job, and I want to thank him for that. And I think he is recognized as the best in the state. So thank you, Clay.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Joe Cedillo. Whereas Mr. Cedillo has served as the Chief Financial Officer for Chaves County for the past 14 years. Whereas his tenure as CFO, Mr. Cedillo has been instrumental in shaping the county's financial future and preparing the county's comprehensive annual financial report. And whereas the Government Finance Officer Association has awarded Chaves County the Award of Financial Reporting Achievement for the Chaves County CAFR, C-A-F-R, 6 years in a row now. And whereas Mr. Cedillo's tenure, Chaves County has been awarded numerous awards for outstanding audits and budgets. Whereas the Chaves County Board of Commissioners recognizes Mr. Cedillo's accomplishments and contributions and thanks him for his dedicated service to the citizens of Chaves County. Now, therefore, the Chaves County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 19th, 2020, as Joe Cedillo Day in Chaves County, done this 19th day of November, 2020. How come he didn't get a parole?
How come that's right?
I said he didn't get a parole.
He's not in jail.
He's the jail administrator.
Joe Cedillo, congratulations. Thank you very much. I still have to sign this. Dave has to sign all that other stuff. Who's got the plaque? Okay.
I got the plaque. Presented to Joe Cedillo in appreciation for your 14 and a half years of outstanding service and commitment to the citizens of Chaves County as the Chaves County Chief Financial Officer, presented by the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Congratulations, Joe, and I'm going to shoot the picture.
Joe, you have any words of wisdom for us?
I do. I'm going to reserve those till a little bit later. I have a couple of pages.
Dan,
Awesome.
you get in?
Oh, stand.
We're going to that.
You got to get in here. too.
I was here. I didn't know we were there.
Oh, everybody smile.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
One of my best.
Elise, thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think everybody recognizes the contribution Joe has made to Chaves County. You can just look at our financial records and see the expertise, professionalism that Joe and his staff, and I know he'd like to give a lot of credit to his staff too, but Joe is the leader there and has done an outstanding job. And you just don't get 6 straight CAFRs, soon to be 7 awards in New Mexico. I mean, it's a United States award. It's awarded throughout the country, and we're one of the only counties that I know of. Bernalillo may get one, I don't know, but there's not many. And that's just because of the expertise of Joe and his staff and what he's done these years. And the budgets are impeccable. The audits, I think we have an exit audit next week. Again, no findings. It's because of Joe and his leadership. And I just want to say thank you for these 14 years. He's made it a lot easier for me. I tell you that. Thank you, Joe.
Stan, with that being said, we've got a couple of folks that are here with us today that are going to be filling those shoes. And boy, you guys got some big shoes to fill. So Daniel's still here.
Yep.
There you go, Daniel. Thank you for taking on this position. It's extremely important for us out at the correctional facility. And I know that you've got Clay's hotline so that if you need, to find out about some things, he'll be there to help out. But I know you're going to do a great job in taking that position out at the correctional facility. And Annabelle, I know that Joe has spent a lot of time working with you, and I know you have a hotline to Joe also. So you guys are greatly appreciated for stepping up to fill these positions for us. So,
Mr. Chairman, and they both take over right away.
Yeah.
And Daniel Ornelas, you might wave or something, make sure everybody sees you. Daniel's got over 23 years of law enforcement experience. He's a Marine, and we think he'll be a good replacement for Clay, somebody that can come in there and keep it going. We've got a great accreditation. I think we've accredited 3 times. We're working on number 4, so something we're pretty proud of at the jail. And Annabelle's got big shoes to fill, but those high heels, she'll make it.
Okay, thank you guys again so much. Greatly appreciate it. Real quick, I'd like to you guys flip a coin to see who wants to speak to us first. Okay, ladies first. Miss Andrea Moore, who is the president of the Roswell Chamber and also kind of the acting executive director. Thank you. Would you please state your name and address for the record?
I'm Andrea Moore, 2101 Ristra Road, Roswell, New Mexico. Thank you, commissioners, for having me here today. I just wanted to give you an update on what we're doing at the Chamber of Commerce. As of yesterday at noon, we have a brand new roof that is leak-free. We are very excited, so it can rain and snow all at once now. We have a window project going on that was a donation from a member. So you will see brand new UFOs and aliens on the front of the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, I believe by tomorrow morning. And in the meantime, we have been diligently working with our local businesses with our Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign. And of course, with our lockdown being what it is, that started on Monday, we had to tweak it just a little bit. But we are creating a flip book, which is like an online catalog of any and all locally owned businesses in the county of Chavez. So if somebody wants to be a part of it, they just need to contact Elizabeth at the chamber or one of us at the chamber. We've got people always answering the phones and checking emails and the voicemail system. And the way that the Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign is working we're going to disseminate the first edition of the catalog before Thanksgiving. So that's next week. And each page is dedicated to one specific business, and it will have all of their information, their phone number, address, their website if they have one, what kind of deals or specials or sales that they are giving during the holiday season. Do they deliver? Do they have curbside delivery? Do they ship? Where do they ship? How much does that stuff cost? And as other businesses want to be a part of the program, they can continue to send us that information because this is going to be an ongoing catalog for into perpetuity. So that way, as we get new businesses, that can be a one place that everybody can go to see what we have locally. And as an incentive to get people to look at our flip book and to actually shop local, we have some fantastic prizes and giveaways that have been donated and or purchased by our members or by myself that we will be giving away twice a week. We will be moving our logo throughout the flip book as an incentive for everybody to constantly be looking at it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it will be a block of days, and then Thursday, we will do a drawing for anybody that has shopped local. And you have to prove it by sending us a picture of your receipt. A minimum of $25 needs to be purchased. It doesn't need to be at one place, but in a combination of the places that our sticker or logo has been on the pages. Just prove that you've paid you've spent the $25, your name goes into the drawing, and then Thursday and Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the first set of drawings, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we will draw on Thursday and Sunday for our giveaways, and we're gonna do that 10 times. Then as a grand prize, to help kind of keep incentivizing people to continue to shop locally, we have $500 in cash that we are going to give away as a grand prize. And for every $50 that is spent locally, once again, you have to prove it by giving us a picture of your receipt, and they can fold it up so we don't see any identifying information, so people that are worried about us seeing their credit card or whatever, all I need to see is the name of the business, the date, and the amount that was purchased. So for every $50 that is purchased, your name gets to go into that drawing. So for example, if you spend $200, your name will enter the drawing 4 times. On December 22nd, we are going to do it. We're gonna pick the winner, and the winner will get $500. Once again, if people want to continue to donate to the grand prize, cash prize, we will give more prizes out December 22nd. And that's been the biggest thing we've been working on. And the first of the year, we are going to be rolling out some virtual workshops that we've been working with Dale Carnegie and 7 other chambers around the state. So that way we can start giving information and teaching people things. For example, how do you transition from in-person business to this new online business? How do you help tame fears, especially once again, since we're in lockdown, again, as starting Monday, or as of this last Monday, people are kind of starting, their anxiety levels are going up, and so we really want to try to tap into helping people in any way, shape, or form that we can. And our flip book, by the way, is open to any and all businesses. You do not have to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That is something I think that the Chamber needs to be really working on, is that we don't need to just be exclusive to our members or to somebody that is paying us money. We need to constantly be helping each other out because we are a community. We need to help foster community. Without our small local businesses, everybody goes out of business. And I stand for questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Moore?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do. I'm glad that you're doing this. Thank you so much for coming up with this. It's a great idea because, like you said, we're a community and we've got to help each other. I'm glad that you're reaching out to non-members. What about other businesses throughout Chaves County? Is it open for them?
Yes, the entire county of Chaves. And thank you, Commissioner Dana. You've given us some fantastic names of places because obviously I'm not always personally in Dexter, Lake Arthur, Hagerman, or in other parts of the county. So all we need is people to contact us and we are more than happy to add them into our flip book.
Good. Thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate this because as you said, anxiety is high right now. Businesses don't know what they're going to do. and if they're even going to be able to sustain this, and as well as the employees. So
Absolutely.
thank you for being proactive. I really appreciate that. And it was fun shopping Sunday. We ran
Yes, it
into
was-
each other,
it was
so shopping, so.
And it's not just for retail establishments, so restaurants, home-based businesses, because we did get a couple of calls and emails yesterday, as a matter of fact, for some home-based businesses, and they said, well, we don't have a brick and mortar, bring me your information, we'll get it out there.
Oh, wonderful. That is wonderful.
If you
Because
wear-
a lot of,
A local business.
a lot of people are trying to be creative right now, because that's what our governor said, be creative. So
That's right.
we're trying, and thank you so much, because yes, a lot of single mothers are working from home, trying to figure out what to do in order to make money. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure.
Commissioners Bilberry, Commissioner Zell, do you guys have any comments?
Andrew, I want to just tell you how much I appreciate all your hard work and effort. I hear you on the radio some, and also all the hard work that's behind the scenes that none of us see, and that you're passionate about our community and our citizens, and I just can't thank you enough for all your hard work.
Thank you.
I agree totally.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Ms. Moore, I can't tell you thank you enough. You know, you've taken the bull by the horns, as it would be, over the last 10 months, and you've done an amazing job. You really have. And so just keep, and I know what a hard worker you are, and what a go-getter and a firebrand you are, and so just keep doing what you're doing, and I think we're going to be in some really great places here in the future. So thank you very much for all you do for Chaves County and the city of Roswell, Lake Arthur, Aderman, and Dexter. So greatly appreciated.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Corr.
if you're gonna talk, move it a little closer to that microphone so they can make sure to get it all. With these masks
These
on.
dang masks.
Yeah, it's a problem. Of course, I'm kind of a loud mouth anyway, so I don't think it's a problem.
Thank you for that, Commissioner. Mike Espiritu, or Mikey.
Mikey,
Yeah,
is that his new handle?
that's his new handle.
Oh, Mikey.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Corn,
If,
every one of you commissioners.
Mike, if you would, state your name, address for the record.
Mike Espiritu, 950 East College, Roswell, New Mexico. My son, he's 40-something, and we still call him Mikey. Just so you know. First and foremost, I want to share with you EDC's heartfelt appreciation for each of you and what you bring to our county. I've been here now a little over a year, and being here a year and the people I've met in Chaves County is profound. The family, as Commissioner Cavan mentioned a few months ago about each of you in this body, this group of talent you have on the county staff is amazing. It's not a miracle you get these wonderful awards and accolades for your finances, your governance, and just the things you do every day. So thank you for representing the people of Chaves County and your teamwork with us as EBC, because together we can accomplish more. Short update on a couple things, and I'll be happy to answer questions. I know that we've been working on the CARES grant. The city's been pumping out checks, and I know that we've done 8 or 9 businesses here in the county, and we're completing those. I think last Friday the 13th was the last day for those applications, so that's still in progress. So we're very, very pleased and privileged to team with the county and to do that for our local business people. It's really important. As you know, I'm part of the airport steering committee. That was a group of local folks to include County Manager Riggs, and we've been meeting. We didn't have a meeting this week because of the health order, sadly. We have one next week, right, Stan? And I think we're getting a little bit closer to coming up with the thought train on how we're going to get to our recommendation to the city council. But I do want to share with you that some of the impact points that we've been discussing, just so you know, concerning the Air Center itself is the mission and vision of the Air Center. What is it? What should it be? What is it all about? Where do we need to be for the future? The political implications of whatever the governing body should look like or could look like. How and what type of governance should be applied to the future of the Air Center. Operations, a big part of the Air Center, as you know, and I know that Commissioner Corn can appreciate that, and especially the finances. We realize that some of these items can probably be done a little bit sooner than others. It takes a little bit to unwind and unravel the details in some of these different areas, especially in the economic portion of the Air Center over many years. But I will share with you also that I believe, in my opinion, that every single person on this committee believes that if we do nothing, that is the wrong step. We need to change and do something else, whatever that something else might be. Whether it's an air authority, whether it's a Economic Advancement Act, whether it's a joint powers agreement, or a hybrid, we need to do something different for the right reasons for Chaves County. We do anticipate having a presentation to City Council in February. We're not sure what that's going to look like yet. I'll be happy, and I know that Stan probably won't be here, but I'll be here to help, and I think they'll be part of that still. We'll make sure that you're informed of what that looks like going forward. I think that's real important that the county is very well informed of that and those actions. As you know, we've had a lot of discussions. I know the county manager, Stan, bless his soul, for all the work he's done with the Senate Aviation and all of you and Senator Jennings that work towards the infrastructure component for Ascent. It's a complicated project. It's probably one of the most complicated projects that we'll see, especially because it's such a large project. But I think what's important about that is we have really worked hard towards creating a workforce for not only Ascent, but for the companies we have out there and other places in our county today. In Ascent, I will share with you that it takes about 2 to 2.5 years to achieve an A&P license, airframe and power plant. I know that Commissioner Corn understands that. Once they complete that coursework at Eastern New Mexico, that's a long time. We are working diligently with the campus on finding other methods to provide a skilled workforce, the talent needed today, quicker, sooner to meet the needs. Now, we know that because of obviously safety of flight reasons, that's the most important reason that FAA requires that certification before you go work on an aircraft. But more importantly, if we can find ways we can use semi-skilled, if you will, workers through some programs at Eastern, we're very pleased at Eastern's ability to be nimble to help do that. And we're doing that now. We're having some discussions about creating some other programs, other certifications to get us there. Still meet the confines of the needs of the companies, but also meet the needs of the FAA. We're not going to circumvent what the FAA requirements are, nor should we. But we will continue to work on ways to find a skilled workforce for talent. Yesterday, I sat on in fact, I presented Chaves County to 3 different site selectors across our country and share with them the Chaves County story. And one lady was from Georgia, another fellow was from Ohio, and I forget where the other third gentleman was from. But the point is they all know about aliens, but they don't know about business in Chaves County. And that's what your EDC does, is educate people in the world about who we are, what we bring to the table. And with Ascent Aviation, that's real critical that we can do that so we can bring skilled talent here as well as grow the talent we have here within us already. Last week, I was part of a PBS interview process for a segment in the spring, jointly with Eastern New Mexico University. The leading star actor is not Mike Espiritu, it is a fellow named Lawrence Fishburne. You may have heard of him. He's part of this. It's all about educating people on the programs out in Eastern, especially with aircraft maintenance technician program. So we draw people in and think about a pathway for the creation of a workforce, but also to help people get a great job, hopefully someday soon, here in Chaves County. Last Friday, you saw, I think you saw, maybe saw, probably should have saw an email if you read it, about, we testified at a JTIP job training and incentive program hearing for New Mexico Solar Group. They were awarded $140,000 for 10 new jobs in Chaves County. A few months ago, our team, Melissa, found them some property, some buildings, and we're hopeful for them. They're a company that started out of Rio Rancho. I worked with them well before I came to Roswell, and I found them a place in another community. They're up to 85 employees across New Mexico, 10 more here in Chaves County. We anticipate that to grow, and I think that's a really good piece. You may have seen, and I hope you did, our annual report for last year. And if you haven't seen that, let me know, and I'll make sure you get a copy. Understand that we have not done something like that, and it's because, I felt it was important we did something like that, so you were informed of what was going on, because COVID's kind of changed the way we're communicating, and we did that to highlight some of the major things that we were doing as an organization. Again, thank you for your work. We are so thrilled to be your continuing partner in creating economic opportunity and prosperity for Chaves County. Mr. Chairman.
Mike, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Espiritu?
Mr. Chairman, I have some. You talked about the CARES Act. How many businesses did you get? Do you know how many businesses you did get applications from on this?
So, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dan, we had a couple different steps. And I'll share with you first that Melissa Juarez, who briefed you last month, I couldn't be here, and Irma Perez from our office, outstanding work on helping companies try to get this moving along to get them some relief. In the beginning, it was a two-step process. Initially, we had a short time frame to push out to the county of this possible grant, and we did that. And at the time, we received a number of applicants. Then step two came along when the state says, "Oh, we're going to get this is the award of the funding," as you recall, and it was and be based upon that. Step two, the state also required step two additional information that we didn't ask initially because we didn't know we needed it, so we did that. As a result, our office worked hand in hand with companies throughout the county. And the bottom line is 79 in the city have received funding, and we're still working on the applicants in the county outside of the city limits currently, because we have until the end of this calendar year. And that'll be, we'll take a look at that, I think, with the county, especially because the city's out of money. It's up to the county because that was actually for the portion of through the last fiscal year ending June 30. And the second piece is July 1 through December 30, and that's for other expenses as they occur. So we still see that as a continuing source, possibly, based upon what the applicants are in the county, not in the city. So to answer your question, Commissioner, sorry for a long answer, but 79 for the city, about 67-68% of what they requested approval with receipts were funded by the city. And I know the county is still working through the finance department and the team over there is still working through all that. And again, we're just thrilled to be part of the team to work with them and make this happen.
So maybe you can't, you or Bill, we have not dispersed any money through the county?
No, we've not. We just gathered the information, and we're meeting this afternoon actually to take a look at all the applications and begin putting those in. We, of course, received quite a few more applications than we did the first go around. Reached out personally to a lot of businesses, and it appears that we're going to make a pretty good dent in the amount of money that we were funded. And we were also going to have probably money left to do a second round, do phase 2 funding that would capture some of their expenses between July and December. And so far, we're looking at being able to fund our county businesses at 100% of what they request. For yeah, qualified
Right.
items.
Good. I just don't want, like I said, come January, our governor is perusing, and I do not want this money having to revert back if we haven't been able to come up with some. Also, I needed to ask too, American Airlines, do we have an update? Are they leaving? Are they staying? Do we know anything about American?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, and I, as I understand it, we are good through December. I don't know what we're looking at past December. I've not spoken with Mayor Roswell about this. This has been his priority. And, but what I understand is this, we're good through December at this point. But I do know that, speaking with folks who travel, we have a consultant here already from Dallas, flew in yesterday, and he says the plane is just full. So we're hearing a lot of that anecdotally, that the enplanements are still very good for Roswell for that one flight to DFW.
I hope so, because without that, this is why the airport authority is so critical right now. If we don't have flights, or even if we do, we have to make sure that we come up with ways to create jobs, to have jobs in that area no matter what. So we've really got to step up to the plate and, again, be creative and get some jobs out there. Another issue that has come up, I know you had talked about housing here in Chaves County. We have a group of people that are having to move, having to be displaced because of the area in which they're living has been condemned. Housing, I see it all the time. Have we come up with any more issues about our housing in Chaves County?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, as you probably saw, I think you did anyway, I may be incorrect on that, but Spring River Apartments was planning on the groundbreaking yesterday for phase 2, 112 more units, about a 1-year build out. They are still moving dirt probably next week, but it's going to happen. Timing's really good for Sun Aviation as far as that growth, but today's needs are still a challenge. We have been working with 2 different companies that manufacture not mobile homes, but modular homes. I spoke with that company Monday, one of the companies Monday, and they tend to build here in Roswell, Chaves County. They're seeking infill land first, instead of just went to a greenfield site. They want to look at some place in town that can do that. So we anticipate them to come here after this current health order to look again. I've already met with them once. They've already been out here. I drove around town, in the county, but they're anxious to do that. They are a company that's out of Texas. They've been building already in Carlsbad and Artesia, and they do want a presence here in Roswell, Chaves County. They think that there's great opportunity. I'm also going to be showing them a building to house a manufacturing plant for this project that they're still interested in doing here. And especially because they believe they can feed the communities of not only Roswell, but Clovis, Artesia. I mean, so it'll be a really good location for them to expand their market. They don't have a presence in New Mexico yet. They're bringing everything in from Texas, so that's pretty expensive. So we're looking forward to that. I'm optimistic about that. I'm just concerned about the timing with the health orders, but they do want to get here. They want to start building. Some of their builders in Artesia are from Roswell, and they said, we want to build in Roswell. So that's the comment he made to me this week, and he's anticipating to do something here as soon as they're able to do something here in Chaves County.
That might be another issue that we can maybe look at federal and state funding as maybe some housing, and whether it be, low income housing or something, because I know it's only going to get worse as our businesses continue to be shut down.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dan, let's not forget that Chaves County took a step forward in providing a small incentive, housing incentive that we still haven't used yet because of COVID. So that incentive still can be used, $25,000, to help a company or help someone, developer, start the process. And then, of course, we capture that money and then we can use it for someone else. So I think that this project might be one, possibly, that could qualify for that and help we can facilitate that and others. The other company that we work with out of Plano, Texas, they've kind of gone dark on us. I've reached out to them a couple of times and they haven't responded. I know they had some significant COVID issues in their employees. And I don't know if they're completely shut down or what the case may be, but I have not spoken to them. I've reached out to them, but I've not actually heard from them in a couple of weeks. But nonetheless, I agree with what you're saying. We have a significant housing issue here in Chaves County. Whatever we can do to support that, we will. We do have a periodic meeting with the state housing folks. Like the Builders Association, John Garcia up there in Albuquerque. We do meet with them and a couple of different folks from around the state and other developers about once a month online to talk about housing needs in Chaves County. And so that has generated some interest in some multifamily type dwellings. The problem is it does take a little time and takes obviously effort with COVID as being a problem. One of the big challenges, just to make you aware, Commissioner, is that there is a significant shortage for lumber, and the price of lumber increased significantly. Why? Because of the storms and the things that have happened, the fires in California has really driven the prices of wood, and it's creating an impact in the market of housing. The modular home company I spoke about first, that is seeking to come back here and build, doesn't use much wood. They use metal. They use other materials and make the house actually, almost fireproof. But more importantly, they don't use that materials. For them, it's not a big problem. But in speaking with him the other day, he says his competitors are struggling. And I think we're going to continue to see some of that happen to us throughout our country.
We are, it's going to be a snowball effect. Thank you much. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you.
Commissioners Bilberry, Isel, do you guys have any questions for Mike?
I'm good, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, sir.
You just called on us to see if we were still paying attention, right, Mr. Chairman?
I was just trying to make sure you still had your mask on, so.
Pants, but no mask.
Mike, thank you so much. So just a few things in the conversation that was just going on. I've had numerous calls from some of the small businesses that are being shut down. And so I made a call up to the governor's office and to find out what their game plan was because this isn't a federal shutdown like we did back in the spring, where those monies are going to be coming from the federal government. So I got the impression that the state has gotten back like $750 million in this CARES Act stuff. So they're going to be figuring out how to try and get that back out in this instance for these companies that are being shut down. Because, when they get shut down, they still have to pay their bills. They still have to pay their bank note. They still have to do all those things. And so I think it's going to be on the governor's shoulder to try and figure out how to help these folks out. Commissioner Isel, since you are married to a state legislator, do you have any knowledge of any special session that's going to be coming up anytime soon?
There have been rumors, but nothing that has any substance or credibility. I would like to ask Mike if he's still up there. Is it true that the South Albertsons got shut down?
That's correct.
And Sam's. And they're not going to stop there because you're probably going to see Walmart get shut down also.
Well, I heard it was South Albertsons and Sam's so far.
That's correct.
And the Albertsons in Carlsbad, which is one of only 3 grocery stores for that city.
Yep.
and the other two are little.
We all hear where you're headed with that, Commissioner.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Gordon?
are these two retail stores big? I'm sorry, you have to be a big store, according to the governor. Are they gonna be shut down for 2 weeks? Are they gonna be shut down until they clean the place? What's the status of them getting reestablished?
December 2nd.
2 weeks.
That's correct, 2 weeks is what we understand, sir.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I don't know about you, but my vegetables and stuff don't last 2 weeks in my refrigerator.
No, sir.
And it is unfortunate that I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of produce that they're gonna literally throw away. And then, I mean, you've got that inventory, then you gotta call your suppliers and get new inventory, so it's a double whammy on them. And, I mean, I don't know where we're headed with this COVID thing, but I know that we're gonna have to learn to live with it. It isn't going anywhere. It's just like the flu or a cold or any of this other stuff. It just, you're gonna have to step up to the plate and figure out what works for you and your families. And this is nuts. And I don't know how we're gonna get through all this stuff, but we got good people. And I think we're gonna figure out a way to push through. But I don't know, I mean, the sheriff can tell us that suicide rates are going up. I suspect domestic violence rates are going up. He's nodding in the affirmative.
Child abuse.
Child abuse is up. I mean, if you can't get away from the situation, it leads to bad things happening to good families and good people. But there's just a breaking point where the fuse breaks and the eruption starts. And I don't know. I know that some states are doing a little better job of keeping businesses alive. And at least that's what I get on the media. I haven't visited any of those states to find out. But it's a real problem, but I don't think the way we're going about it in Mexico is the right way. And I don't know what it's gonna take to get the shackles off, at least get them loosened up a little bit. I mean, restaurants, they just went through this and they haven't recovered, and they got the same problem. Now all their stuff in the back is gonna get thrown out the back door, and they've got to call their supplier, get more stuff moved back in. So every time you do this, not only do you not have any revenue produced, but your inventory goes to heck. And it's a double whammy. And it's just crazy that this is going on. And New Mexico's got to take this burden on. Our governor's causing it here in this state. And it's just crazy. The other thing, Mike, that you mentioned about the shortage of lumber, part of that has to do with just the lumber mills not being able to operate. Not only can you not harvest the tree, but you can't get the tree manufactured for it to be used in construction or any other purpose. It's extremely sad to see what's going on in this country. I mean, you drive by automotive dealerships, they don't have any inventory because the manufacturers were shut down. And it takes a while. You just don't go turn the light switch off and you don't go turn the light switch back on. It takes time, planning. You gotta get all your supplies back in line because they've been doing just in time on their component parts for years. And it just, not only the folks that are putting the car together, you gotta have the guy that's putting the various components together. He's got to get fired up before the plant that does the final assembly can get started. And that's the same thing that's happening to the grocery store. Those warehouses can just take so much produce, and then they've got to quit accepting it. And the guy that's farming, that's making the product, can just cut that sucker off. When the lettuce, tomatoes, et cetera, are ready to go to market, they're ready to go to market. Same thing happens to Commissioner Bellberry's line of work. Livestock business, those animals, they keep growing. And when they get to the prime spot, you gotta move them. And we've got slaughterhouses closed down, can't get rid of it on the retail level. I mean, this thing is, we haven't seen the bottom of this thing yet, and we may not for years. But it's just crazy, and sorry for just venting. I'm completely distressed over all this stuff.
Well, there's no doubt, Mr. Chairman and Commissioner Corn, the disruption to the supply chains of so many, in fact, let's say all industry, right? I mean, everyone's being affected. But, as you mentioned, the different examples you gave, the last whammy is the consumer. Because what can get through and what can be provided, the costs have gone up significantly. So the consumer that now is maybe out of work, maybe getting a portion of a salary to unemployment, is now paying higher prices for commodities they need to live on. So I think, as you said, we have a lot of challenges in this fight.
Well, bottom line is the consumer and the taxpayer always gets left holding an empty bag. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Court. Commissioner Court, just to add a couple of things to that conversation just now. I was up in Albuquerque yesterday, and I think I paid $1.59 a gallon of gas. And it's about $1.60 something here in Roswell out at Sam's. And that's because this country has gotten to be energy independent when it comes to our fossil fuels, okay? So you go to the lumber problem that we have, and right now, with what Commissioner Corn said, which is spot on, because we can't harvest and do what we need to do to supply our own lumber. Canada is having a really hard time keeping up with our lumber needs right now. And so if we can get back to some common sense harvesting and lumber production, we wouldn't be in a problem where the cost of lumber was so high. Spent some time talking with Freeman Bell, who used to be here in Roswell back years ago when his wife was running the Coca-Cola place. He's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area working with Fox Galbraith. And he says, you're not going to see the price of lumber go down probably until maybe March or April. And we do have the hurricanes that happen down in Louisiana and some of these fires and things like that, so that have created an extra need. But the fact of the matter is that where we're getting our lumber right now, the majority of our lumber, they can't keep up with the supply and demand. The other thing that's going to be a really big hit, which I'm not going to be surprised if it's not today or tomorrow or sometime here in the very, very next few days, is if the governor does not shut Leprino down. And I know everybody in this room remembers we had Snowstorm Goliath, and we couldn't get those dairy trucks to Leprino to drop off those supplies, and that was just a two-day deal. But she's talking about in these mandates, regulations, that once they get shut down, it's not for a couple of days, it's not for 4 days, it's for 2 weeks. Everything's for 2 weeks. So you're going to shut down all the dairies, you're going to shut down the Leprinos for 2 weeks. You know what? And I don't think a lot of people know that these dairies, they don't get to just stop milking the cows. They got to milk them. And where's that milk going to go? It's going to go right out on the ground. And it's not going to have any place to go. And so I think that our governor, I hope today at 3 o'clock when she has another press conference today, that she is giving some reality of the mass hysteria that she's on the edge of creating here in the state of New Mexico. It's not just here in southeastern Mexico. I mean, it's all over the state. And so I hope that she's rethinking some of this. I know she has some good intentions with this, but those good intentions are fixing to blow up on us as elected officials here in the state of New Mexico. With that being said, Mike, do you have anything else for us? Any more work? How do we get out of this? Do you have the?
Mr. Chairman, city manager has a crystal ball on his desk. It doesn't work. I don't own one because I don't know if I can get it to work either. So let me just say this, I don't have a way out any more than I think the next person. Like Commissioner Corn says, it's here. We're gonna have to find a way to beat it. We're just gonna do all the right things. We're gonna have, I think we're gonna continue to have restrictions placed upon us because people think that we can't think for ourselves, sadly. But I think we're smart people. We know how to figure a lot of stuff out. I think we need to continue to do those type of things to keep ourselves, our families, and our friends and our colleagues safe.
That, Mike, thank you again for taking on this task back in October of last year. You're greatly appreciated. You're taking us to greater places here in Chaves County and the city of Roswell, so you're greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, but it's partnership. It's a partnership.
Family.
Thank you.
Family first. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and move forward with our agenda as Elise comes to clean
Mr. Chairman,
podium at the microphone.
agenda item number 1 is resolution R-20-038, and that's the annual holiday schedule. You can see the 10 hours and the 8 hours. We have sent this out to the elected officials and department heads, and everyone seems okay with it. So we do recommend approval of resolution R-20-038.
Commissioners, any discussion on this resolution for the holiday schedule?
Mr. Chairman, move to adopt resolution R-20-038.
Mr. Chairman, second.
I think because caller's on the other end of the
Yes.
line,
Let Commissioner Ezell have it, please.
I think he said it first, it just didn't get here in time.
Yes.
Have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Ezell to approve agenda item 1, resolution R-20-038, holiday schedule for 2021. Commissioners, any questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Passes unanimously. Sorry about that, guys. I'll give you more time to get your eyes in there. Agenda item 2.
Mr. Chairman, agenda item number 2 is resolution R-20-039, opposing the recommendations of the New Mexico Civil Rights Commission and urging the legislature to provide more resources to address root causes of civil rights claims against local governments. This resolution was authored by New Mexico counties. They've looked at it, and I think it's important to point out that Chaves County is not against anyone's civil rights at all. And if excessive force is used at any point in law enforcement or jail, we take that seriously, and we have terminated people for that, and we're not questioning or arguing about any of that. I think what we're saying is we need to find a way that local governments can adapt and do better and not be forced with an uncapped civil rights claim that we don't have insurance for. So it is very concerning to us, but again, we're not against anyone's civil rights. We're just trying to figure out as a county, a local government, how we can do better and improve everything and still meet our obligations and not get hit with these lawsuits that are backbreaking. So we do recommend approval of this resolution.
Commissioners, any discussions on agenda item 2?
Mr. Chairman, I got a question. Stan, are there already people that's been tapped to serve on this commission that you're aware of?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this commission has already met and has recommendations that are out there. And one of those recommendations is that these would not, this type of situation would not be affected by the tort claims cap. So you would have an uncapped ability to sue in state court and recover millions of dollars. And yeah, this commission's already met, and over the course of the last 6 or 7 months, have come up with recommendations, and we're actually opposed to those recommendations. Again, we want to work with everybody and see what we can get done, but we don't have the insurance coverage, and our insurance pool, they can't keep up. There's no way we can keep up with this. We would have to raise taxes to pay that stuff. And I know the argument is, well, you need to do better so you don't have those situations. We're trying to do better. Everybody's doing better. The city attorney of Albuquerque wrote a wonderful letter to this board saying, look, you're going to mess with the changes that we've already done. We're trying to get better, but if you sit there and make us pay so much money on our insurance, we're not going to be able to implement everything. So it's really counterproductive. It sounds good to some plaintiffs' lawyers, and I understand that, but it's not good for local governments or the state.
Mr. Chairman, this one may be hard for you to dance around, but can you give me some background on the commissioners? According to the second whereas as I see it, and third, they talk about who represented the plaintiffs. Was there anybody from the other side of the table appointed to this commission, in your opinion?
Mr. Chairman, I can't really, Commissioner, I can't really tell you who was on that board. Mark Baker, an attorney in Albuquerque, was the chairman of that board, but it was appointed by the governor. And I know there were some people from local government that were at least at the table, but I think they probably got run over.
Well, it's disturbing to me because, as we recognize, there's always two sides to the coin. And if one side is the only one that's really there with the vote, I'm not talking about just sitting there for discussion, but who makes these decisions. If you don't have somebody represent the other side of the coin, it can get kind of carried away and skewed completely 90 degrees from what common sense and middle of the road kind of policies. And you can't, in my opinion, you can't just go down one rail of the track. It takes both rails to get the train moving. And so I'm a little skeptical of any decision that those folks have made because we're just, I think, looking at one side of the coin. I'm done.
Commissioner, anybody else, any conversations on this before I dive into it? We've been talking about this at the New Mexico counties for a while now that this has come out. And I'm gonna have to tell you that our local governments, our county commissioners, our city councils, all these local government entities are gonna have to step up on this one. Because our legislatures obviously don't listen to the other side of that coin. And we've seen that for the last 2 years. And so it's gonna take all of us at the local level to have that conversation with our representatives and our senators to put a stop to this deal. Because there's absolutely no way that we will be able to afford what is being brought here. And obviously, I'm sure that there are enough lawyers out there that want to represent these folks and have an open-ended, ability to file lawsuits for $50 to $100 to $200 million because they make most of the money on it. It's not so much getting money for whoever they're representing. But the fact of the matter is that if they pass this in the Senate, I mean, in the legislature, and the governor signs it, she will be sending down a deficit financially to all local governments. There's just no ifs or buts about it. We won't be able to find insurance companies that are going to insure any one of us, whether it's in a pool or individually, because they can't afford it. If you're going to have an open-ended, no cap on how much someone can file a lawsuit against you, because yes, there are people within our local governments that make mistakes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And should there be a price paid for it? Absolutely. Whether it's a judge, whether it's a job or whether it's some type of monetary, but you cannot take the cap off this bill. There's no way. And if you do, we're in a lot of trouble. To the lawyer on the phone, you have some comments to this, Commissioner Zell?
Yeah, this is asinine.
That's a real summation.
It creates a specific cause of action that already exists. And it's just a plaintiff's lawyer's relief effort. And I agree that the Association of Counties, the Municipal League, everybody needs to stand up and scream bloody murder, because this is terrible.
Commissioner Zell, if anybody in this group has any ties to the Municipal League, somebody probably needs to pick up that phone. And unfortunately, Bill Fulgenetti has passed away in the last year. They have some new leadership there, but my understanding from the New Mexico counties is that the Municipal League is not going to really take a big stand against this. Now, maybe that's changed since the last conversation I had, but boy, I'm going to tell you right now, that the Municipal League better get on board with this deal, put a stop to it.
You're exactly right there, and I can't imagine their reluctance.
I can't either, so. All right, any further comments or discussion on this?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-20-039.
Second.
Give it to Bill Perry.
Got a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve Resolution R-20-039, opposing the Civil Rights Commission recommendations and urging the legislature to provide more resources to address root causes of civil rights claims against local governments. Do you have any further comments or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, one quick question.
Commissioner Zell.
Do we need to disseminate this to anybody, or can we, or is plan just to get it back to the Association of Counties and let them carry the ball?
Well, I think Commissioner Zell that it's a good idea to get it back to the New Mexico counties to carry the ball, because they're going to. But I definitely don't think it would hurt if we weren't doing our due diligence to make sure that this went out to all of our legislators and senators, and hope that they are carrying the ball for us also.
Then I think we should make that happen.
We'll do that, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Stan Riggs says that's going to happen. Thank you, Commissioner Zell. Okay, agenda item 3, Ms. Annabelle.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 3 is Resolution R-20-040, which is an approval for a budget adjustment. We are requesting a budget adjustment for the line items in Exhibit A, and I did hand out prior to the meeting a revised list. And these adjustments are for various grants, donations to where some of these were for the purpose of initiating the Sheriff's K-9 unit and SWAT uniforms, sale of county property, 2 capital projects for a walking and a bike trail, and a fire truck. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions or discussion on agenda item 3?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt resolution R-20-040.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve resolution R-20-040 for a budget adjustment for fiscal year 2020, 2021. Commissioners, any further questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Commissioner Bilberry, I assume you said aye on that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Passes unanimously, 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Annabelle. Ms. Lucia.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 4 is Resolution R-20-041, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval of this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. Exhibit A has the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, move we adopt resolution R-20-041.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve agenda item 4, resolution R-20-041, deletion of property and proposed disposition. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lucia. Agenda item 5.
Mr. Chairman, agenda item number 5 is resolution R-20-042, opposing the proposed rules regarding the 2021 legislative session. You should have that in front of you. Commissioner Ezell and Commissioner Bilberry should also have the final draft of this resolution was sent out to him yesterday. And I want to thank Commissioner Corn and Commissioner Ezell for helping me work on this. But, you know, this came about on November 10th when Representative Ezell spoke to us and told us about what was going on up in Santa Fe with the proposed rules for the upcoming legislative session. And we wanted to comment and show our displeasure of how keeping people out, not being able to attend, not be able to participate or watch even what was going on and some of the ideas they had, just how anti-democracy we felt that was. And we wanted to put that down. And Mr. Chairman, this is where this resolution came from. Do recommend approval.
Thank you, Stan. I would like for Commissioner Corn and Commissioner Dana to go ahead and read this resolution for the folks, and so we can let everybody know what it is that we are doing with what Representative Ezell had to tell us last week in our canvassing meeting. So, Commissioner Dana, would you go ahead and lead this off?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution R-20-042, resolution opposing the proposed rules regarding the 2021 legislative session. Whereas open government is the cornerstone of democracy, and whereas over the course of the past several months, we have been reminded of how important citizen participation is to a healthy democracy. And whereas the Legislative Council is proposing limited public participation and access in the upcoming legislative session, citing the need to protect the public from COVID-19.
And whereas transparency is the only way that people can hold the government and elected officials accountable, as one of the founding fathers, Patrick Henry, said, the liberties of people never were nor ever will be secure when the transactions of their rulers may be concealed to them. And whereas these proposed rules go against the concept of freedom and democracy, now therefore be it resolved by the Chaves County Board of Commissioners, Chaves County opposes the proposed rules governing the operation of the 2021 legislative session, and that it be further resolved that the Chaves County Board of Commissioners demands that the session be open to the public or postponed until it is safe to have public participation and public access. Done this 19th day of November, 2020.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioners, are there any questions or discussions on this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say thank you very much, Commissioner Ezell and Commissioner Corn, for putting this forward. As we're seeing right now, the demands or mandates or edicts that are coming down from the governor's mansion or wherever she is today, maybe she's in California, we have no idea, but she obviously wants to do everything in the cover of night. She doesn't want the citizens to participate. She doesn't want us to know. She doesn't want any of the people and the citizens of the state of New Mexico to call her out on anything that's coming down. When they don't want the people in the roundhouse, that puts, I mean, I have questions. That makes me, that tells me that they want to do everything in the cover of night because they don't want the citizens knowing what's going on. So thank you very much. And again, with this signed resolution, I want it to go to every state representative and our senators, and maybe we need to send it to the governor's mansion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Dean.
Well, she's supposed to be in self-quarantine at the mansion.
Oh, she might have been at the dinner in California, who knows?
Well,
I mean,
that's true. I
you know,
said supposed to.
supposed to.
I knew where she was. Mr. Chairman, you know, part of the proposal set forth, as we learned from Representative Ezell, during this COVID virus, I've attended lots of meetings on Zoom and other platforms, and it's just not the same as being there. It's just not. And in the state of New Mexico, we have many dark holes where you can't get hooked up if you wanted to. And to think that they get good participation by virtually doing this stuff, they're sorely out of their mind. And so I'm thankful. Stan's the guy that found the Patrick Henry quote, and it's right on point. Thank you, Stan.
Commissioner Ezell, Commissioner Bilberry, you guys have any comments?
No, we need to get this passed. We need to speaker P, whether they listen or not.
And Mr. Chairman, in addition to all of the legislators that represent Chaves County, I would request that if this resolution passes, that we send it to the Speaker of the House, well, the Governor, the Speaker of the House, President Pro Tem of the Senate, and the minority floor leaders on the House and Senate side.
I agree. Thank you, Commissioner Ezell. Before we vote on this still, Commissioner Ezell, once again, I'll ask for your legislative expertise since you're married to one of our representatives. Is one of the plans that I've heard that I'm not sure if it's gonna go anywhere, but it proposed to delay the session to maybe March or April. Is that a possibility?
It was one of the proposals, because the Constitution requires that the legislature convene on the third Tuesday of every year. There was talk of having the legislature do that and then pass a budget and then adjourn until a special session could be called after it was safe to meet in the roundhouse. But I think that's off the table now because there were no guarantees that since it would be then a special session, that the governor would allow everything and anything that would normally come up in a 60-day session to be on the call.
Thanks.
And I don't think there was
No, go ahead, I apologize.
and I don't think there was enough cooperation across the aisle to, rather than make it a special session called by the governor, to make it an extraordinary session called by the legislature, which would give the legislature the control over what was heard as opposed to the governor. So I think what they will end up doing is this end run to get federal money to the city of Santa Fe for their convention center and still have the roundhouse, which the citizens in New Mexico have already paid for, closed to the public.
Well, Commissioner, thank you for that insight. What a novel idea it would be for our legislators to pass a budget at the front end of the legislative session.
Yeah, how about that?
But that being said, all right. Who wants to make
Mr.
the
Chairman,
motion?
I move we adopt resolution R20-042.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I started to write Calder Zell's name on here because. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve agenda item 5, resolution R-20-042, opposing the proposed rules regarding the 2021 legislative session. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Commissioner Corn and Commissioner Zell, thank you, and Stan for all the hard work on putting that resolution together. You guys are greatly appreciated.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda items number 6 and 7 are from our purchasing director, Sandra Rodriguez, who apologizes for not being here today. She is working from home, and it's amazing how much work she's being able to accomplish from there. Probably got 50 emails yesterday of all the different things that she's working on. But agenda item number 6, the following bids were received under ITB-20-4 for HVAC system replacements at the Chaves County Administration Building. The bidders were Fulkerson Plumbing and Heating. Their bid was $861,932.16, and that includes gross receipts tax. B&D Industries bid was $741,887.30. Rhodes Plumbing bid was $1,205,506.39. Donner Plumbing was $1,547,518.00. Enoch Mechanical's bid was $928,500. $45.73. Staff recommends award to Fulkerson Plumbing and Heating from Roswell, New Mexico. Staff also requests that the board authorize the chairman to execute the agreement A-20-042 between the owner and the contractor. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions or discussion on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell?
well, Joe would never forgive me if I didn't ask this question. Why was the Fulkerson bid preferable to the one that was $120,000 cheaper?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Ezell, B&D Industries had several exclusions in their contract. They were excluding a number of things which the other bidders felt was a part of the job. So we felt that basically we'd be presenting them a blank check for change orders. And so we went with Fulkerson, who was the second lowest bidder.
Thank you for that answer. I just wanted to make Joe smile.
And you did.
He's grinning from ear to ear. You can see it through his mask.
Okay, you ready?
Here we go.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we direct you to execute agreement A-20-042.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve agenda item 6, which is for me to take care of this. That I'm authorized to execute agreement A-20-042, which is the agreement to award ITB 20-4 HVAC system replacements. Am I saying that right, Commissioner Stan?
Yes, sir.
Does everybody understand? Everybody's got it? Okay. Any further questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, item number 7, the county has received bids for the following bidders under ITB-20-5 for bulk fuel. The following are the bids submitted. The bidders were Brewer Oil Company, Wakefield Oil Company, and Bell Gas, and rather than read each one of these individually, I'll say that Bell Gas was the lowest on each of the things. They had no additional fees or credit card fees and no fees for tank and pump as were submitted by Brewer Oil Company. The staff has compared and evaluated the bids on all items and recommends that we award to Bell Gas as set forth on the attached bid tabulation spreadsheet. Award of this bid will constitute a price agreement against which orders will be placed as needed. The first term will be for a period of 1 year with an option to renew for up to 3 additional 1-year terms, and the staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions, discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt the bid as presented. I don't have an agreement yet.
That is correct. This is just the invitation to bid.
Okay, so I guess to make the record clear, I move we approve the ITD 20-5 for bulk fuel to Bell Gas.
Yes, thank you.
That good enough?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Corn and a second by Commissioner Dana for agenda item 7, ITB 20-5 for bulk fuel being awarded to Bell Gas. Any other questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign.
Chair,
Yep. excuse me, Commissioner Zell?
Speaking of bulk fuel, were we successful in calculating and submitting to the state what extra fuel expenses we would have, that we have incurred because of the requirement that our road department people not travel in the same vehicle? Did Annabelle get any money for that?
I'm not sure, Mr. Commissioner, but I know that she's working on every angle that she can come up with.
Perfect, thank you.
Commissioners, now I'm assuming that you voted in favor of this?
I did.
Okay, we have a unanimous vote to accept that. Just real quick, I want to go back to agenda item 6 because I think when I made comments to approve that I did not use Fulkerson's name in them receiving. I just want to make sure for the record that Fulkerson Plumbing was receiving that bid on agenda item 6. So I apologize for that.
Mr. Chairman, if it's acceptable, I'd like to give Commissioner Ezell another little bit of information. I told you that Annabelle is seeking everything that she can find to make corrections to and to submit to the federal government on the CARES Act. She did determine that our landfill fees are up by 32%. And so, because of COVID, and so we are going to address that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. All right.
I can see her smiling too.
She did take her mask off to smile for you, Commissioner Zell.
She smiles with her eyes.
Yes. Okay, agenda item 8.
Mr. Chairman, agenda item 8 is appointment of an interim county manager. As you guys know, the county manager is retiring at the end of the year. He told me. As such, the commission needs to appoint an interim county manager. Finance Committee is requesting that Mr. Bill Williams be appointed as the interim county manager with full duties of the office effective January 1st, 2021. The transition period will begin Monday, November 30th, 2020, and as such, Mr. Williams will begin receiving his interim salary November 30th, 2020, which is a brand new pay period. I was going to put December 1st, and I was corrected that we have to do the brand new pay period. So that's what we're doing, Mr. Chairman. So we do recommend Bill for this position.
Well, that must
Proud to
have been,
recommend Bill.
that must have been Annabelle that made you correct.
Annabelle and Susan, yeah.
Commissioners, any discussion, questions? Then
Yeah, I got a question.
Mr. Chair.
they're fighting over this one, Bill. I'm going with Commissioner Zell first.
Mr. Chairman, it is my great pleasure to move that we appoint Mr. Bill Williams as interim county manager.
I second.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's go to, we've got a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to appoint Mr. Bill Williams as the interim county manager. His pay to interim salary to begin November 30th, 2020, and his full duties of the office will take effect on January 1, 2021. Now, commissioners, any questions or discussions?
Yeah,
I'm sure we want to do this.
I've got a question. Since Mr. Williams is standing at the podium, are you sure you want this job?
That's been a real question with my wife and I both.
Okay.
No, I'm very honored to have the opportunity, and I would like to say that I believe Stan has set the bar really high, but he's also established the groundwork that anyone's going to need to run the county as successfully as he has.
And you're not under the influence of COVID-19, alcohol, drugs, or anything else? You freely accept this opportunity?
Well, that's a great question, and no, I'm not. It would seem that I might be, however.
You just saw the judge's rope go on when you asked that question. Commissioners, any other questions, discussions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say thank you. It's a heck of a job, and as everybody knows, stepping up to the plate. So thank you very much. I appreciate you stepping up.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you.
Commissioner Bilberry?
Bill, I'm looking forward to working with you. I know you're very capable and competent for this job, and you always do the very best that you can, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for stepping up.
Thank you, Commissioner, and I just want to say it's the staff, as you all are aware, that make Chaves County what it is.
Commissioner Zell?
Bill, Jeff is just sucking up to you, so don't leave a blade parked up there on weekends.
Well, fortunately, we don't have to leave one on Old Hondo Channel, so we'll have one available.
All right, Bill, I know you're going to do a great job. You've done a great job in your position at this particular stage. Stan's, as you said, Stan's shoes are going to be, I mean, he's raised the bar. And but one thing I do know is that I do know that you're going to have Stan's phone number. Call when and if you have any questions to help take care of anything. And I know you're going to do a great job. Greatly appreciate it for you stepping up to the plate. As Commissioner Davis said, this is a daunting task to run Chaves County, and you're greatly appreciated for. Well, I guess we have to say yes after we approve this, but thank you.
Thank you.
You are going to say yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Any other further questions or discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Everybody's got ayes in there?
Yes.
I jumped
Yes.
ahead of this still. Any opposed, same sign? Seeing none, passes unanimously. Thank you, Bill.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for your support. Thanks to all of Chaves County.
All right, agenda item 9, Sandy.
Mr. Chairman, agenda item 9 comes from the new law that was passed in the legislature in January, and it has to do with collective bargaining. As you guys know, the Collective Bargaining Act of New Mexico was, the Local Government Collective Bargaining Act was redone and took a lot of hits from the management side of this. One of which was that unless we change and get permission to have our local board continue, our local board will go away. Now, and that's our Labor Relations Local Board. So what we've done is we've been working with our attorney, Dina Holcomb, who does our negotiations with the union, and she's the union expert in the state and handles most local governments and school districts. Sat down with her, and she came up with an ordinance that she's been working on, I think, since June, and finally got it adopted by the state board in November. So this is or I should say in October. So this is the model that they agreed to, which would allow us to continue operating with our local board, and we have to adopt it by the end of the year, and we have to get it up to the state board by the end of the year. So we are seeking permission to publish for a public hearing regarding ordinance number 0107, an ordinance of Chaves County relating to collective bargaining for the county of Chaves, New Mexico, providing rights, responsibilities, and conditions of continued existence and transfer of authority upon termination of the local board. So we would keep the local board, and if the local board ever ceased, then it would go to the state board. There's only one state board in New Mexico, so if we ever had to go to the state board, there's no telling how long it would take the state board to even hear it. But obviously, the state board is made up of primarily union and not management members. So we do believe this is important to do that. So we do recommend approval of permission to publish.
Commissioners, any questions, discussion for Stan?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt publication for the public hearing regarding ordinance 0107 0.07. I'll get it straight in a minute. Related to collective bargaining.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Corn, a second by Commissioner Ezell, to publish, agenda item 9, to publish for a public hearing regarding ordinance number O-107, an ordinance of Chaves County relating to the collective bargaining for the county of Chaves, New Mexico, providing rights, responsibilities, and conditions of continued existence and transfer of authority upon termination of local board. I don't know if I said all that right, but you got it. Anyway, any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Calder, you and, Commissioner Zell and Commissioner Bilberry, you both voted aye on that?
Yes. I did.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Just that you guys say it at the same time, I can only hear one of you at a time, so I gotta do that for Cindy to make sure that she's got the notes all right. Thank you, guys. Passes unanimously. All right, who's spending money today?
Mr. Chairman, I'll spend some money. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve checks in the amount of $1,603,528.03.
Do I hear a second out there?
Come on, don't leave me hanging.
Seconded if nobody else.
Thank you, Commissioner Bilberry.
Better sweat there.
They were gonna leave me hanging. I was gonna have to go write a check.
You got that life buoy out there, so. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve the checks to the amount of $1,603,528.03. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Commissioner Bilberry?
Yeah.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Approval of reports.
Move adoption of the reports, Mr. Chairman.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Corn, a second by Commissioner Dana to approve the reports. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Okay, come to unscheduled communications, limited to 3 minutes per visitor, not to exceed 15 minutes total. No formal action be taken by the commission. I know that we've set this up to where some questions could be sent into the Facebook deal. I don't know if we've got any of those, but I do have Mr. Joe Cedillo who wants to come to the podium and speak to us.
And then, Mr. Chairman, we do have some questions that Elise has received.
I have Rita. I'll say that.
Okay, thank you.
Rita's on the line, that's great. Now for my parting shots. First thing I'd like to look at is the GRT. Annabelle issued some of those statements out there. We received yesterday $1,072,747.37 compared to last year's $1,112,236.27. That's a drop of 3.55% on that. Gives us a year-to-date of 7.49%. This is I believe is probably a trend that's starting to catch up over the adjustments that they had last year. And the last fiscal year that we had such a large amount of GRT. Second sheet it's got it listed by industry. Just wanted to point out that, of course, the oil and gas is down by taxable gross receipts, $2.4 million. Moving on down, manufacturing down 1.6 million. The retail trade, however, went up $1.7 million. The information was down approximately 1.8 million. On down to the accommodation of food services was down $3,946,063.96. These are taxable gross receipts, and it follows what we intuitively have seen. There's also an amount by the returns, and this is one we followed because Commissioner Ezell had put that in our minds to look at that. We had 2,937 returns that were filed. We had an average of about 3,400. The difference between that and last year is 399 returns, approximately 400 returns different than that. Is it the COVID? Perhaps. Is it, but there were 400 or so returns less than we're normally would have averaged out. That is telling. So going forward, we can expect that the GRT will continue to go with the chaos that we're experiencing with that. Now, I'm a big believer in chaos because I believe in symmetry. Chaos has its own mathematical formula, and but it never wins out in the end. Symmetry always wins out. And what we do correctly, what we do right, is symmetrical. And that always reaches the pinnacle. There's a saturation point of chaos. In my own mathematical calculations, it's 1.27. It can never go beyond that ratio. And I have a whole slew of that stuff, but I'm not going to get into that. So, I want to thank everyone here, all the commissioners and department heads throughout. It has just been amazing to work with these last 14 and a half years. And I want to slightly roast the manager. A lot of you don't know that he's a magnificent rapper. And you may not know him because his rapping name is Saran Wrap. Right. So that's very fitting, but he's
I just do it with foil.
About 14 years ago from the past, I have to also thank the commissioners that I've worked with closely in the Finance Committee. But I recall Dick Taylor was around, Alice Evers was on that, on a hiring committee along with Stan, Roger, and Sheila. And I have to say they chose well. Over the years, some excellent people were a real pleasure to work with. Commissioner Smiley Wooten, who gave us the brand. It says, always be proud of the brand you ride for. So I will always remember that with Smiley. Michael Trujillo was here, Harold Hobson. There was a whole slew of them, Rick Nybert, and actually many more. But the most impactful gentleman personally for me, that worked with our department really, really well and offered us some guidance was James Duffy. If you see him, thank him for me. His wisdom and insights were amazing, the way he approached the business of the county, and we greatly admired him for being able to do that. So On to the present, want to thank again the support and encouragement that we received from the entire commission, but particularly the Finance Committee, the Budget Committee, and the Investment Committee. And currently Calder, Ezell, Commissioner Will Kevin, and certainly gentlemen that we work with, we've worked throughout the years on that. And it's a difficult committee to which to do that because you deal with the county horizontally with departments and then up to the state legislature, and including the DFA. And then there's Mr. Bob Korn. This guy made it rough. He challenged us, even though somewhat fun, he is crass, hard-nosed and stubborn. But if I had to characterize him, it would be mostly like, this man has a lot of chutzpah. Chutzpah is a Yiddish word. It's a blend of German and Hebrew. And if Frida's on the line, she knows how to define it. Because there's a street characterization of what chutzpah is. And I won't tell you what that is, but I'll tell you in Spanish. Son dos huevos. Yeah, it's an extreme self-confidence and extreme audacity. That's what chutzpah is. There's a story. I know that you guys, by the time you roll out, you learn a lot of things. When you learn it towards the end of your tenure. And after that, it's sort of forgotten and everything kind of gets blended out of that. But that's the nature of the beast of what we do. But I want to paraphrase an anecdotal story that happened here. Several years ago, there was a CEO from one of the hospitals, actually worked at two. His name was Rod Schumacher. And he wanted to understand what the IHC, sole community provider, was doing with the hospital because he wanted a piece of that pie. We could only have one by state law, but he wanted to be able to incorporate that where he was at Roswell Regional. And he worked it. He asked questions and probably drove Stan crazy with some of those. But he on his own traveled to Santa Fe to learn firsthand what that process was. And after a long meeting in Santa Fe, he had a eureka moment. He understood everything. Everything was clear to him. Got in his car and left. By the time he got to Bonn, it became cloudy. He started to really ask, do I really understand this? By the time he got to Roswell, it was all a blur. Those are the items that sometimes we get into on that, but you may experience that from time to time. I would like to take these final few words to recognize the people in my department. Cindy, George, Letty, Jeff, Pablo, Natalie, Natalia, Mauda, Adriana, Robert, Ellie, Lucia, and Emma. And then I want to introduce this juggernaut to my right. A juggernaut is a powerful and overwhelming force. That's what we have. This is a fully functional operation, and I ask for support because I believe this to be the backbone of the county. With that, thank you.
Joe, amazing job, thank you. What foresight Alice Eppers and Dick Taylor and those guys had back 14 years ago to put you to work for us. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Elise Klein. I'm a Chaves County employee. I'm reading this on behalf of Rita Kane Dorhofer, very narrow, unstriped Mark Road. Keep Chaves County beautiful, once again, may keep America beautiful, President Circle Award. Thank you, Clay and Joe, for your service to Chaves County. Bill Williams, I will be in touch. I think I said that kind of like she would. Thank you, all commissioners, for what you do, and the staff for working through these difficult times. Have a safe Thanksgiving. I will be at home looking for tree grants. George, be ready. Hopefully, we will be able to meet in December in the chambers. I will be in my usual place, not causing any trouble.
Cool. She didn't have anything to say about skunks there, huh?
No, sir.
She got another one.
Oh.
She sent us a picture last week. I think it was number 21, if I remember right.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And I'm glad, I think mine went to her place, so mine are gone.
And then looking at the live feed, I don't see any questions or comments from the public.
Okay. Elise, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Rita out there in Facebook land, thank you. Ron.
I think I wanted to come out and speak as much to get the mask off as anything, so. I apologize, I had to leave the meeting, run an errand, and hopefully you all passed resolution R20-039 opposing the Civil Rights Commission and their recommendations. I can't stress enough to you how devastating this would be to the pool. As most of you know, I serve as chairman of the NMCIA, the Insurance Authority Pool, and we've done everything in our power to try to slow this down, but the speaker seems to be driving this full force and full speed towards the 60-day session, and it would be devastating to the pools. It would, we had our broker, John Chino from Gallagher, testified before this commission. Steve Copeland managed to get him on their agenda. And the question was asked, well, how much would that increase the cost of our reinsurance if these recommendations were passed? And John Chino's remark was, you couldn't buy reinsurance. So we would just be left without any reinsurance. Basically, we'd have the limits that the pool would provide to the counties, and there would be nobody quoting. The insurance market is very hard and difficult as it is right now, and then you begin to pass legislation like this, and it's just going to be almost impossible, and could threaten even the existence of the pool. So I appreciate you all passing this resolution. I think it was very important. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much effect it will have. I think those that recognize what it would do already know it, but I think as I say, the speaker has his agenda and is pushing it full force. And so we hopefully can at least slow it down or maybe mitigate some of the damages, but we'll just have to wait and see as that progresses.
Ron, real quick, and then you missed the conversation, but one of the things that I said was that if this still passes, it'll be a death sentence financially for all the local governments all across the state of New Mexico. When we pass this thing, and we're fully behind it, the one thing that we have to make sure is that all of our local governments, counties and municipalities get behind this. And do you have any last thing I heard from Steve Copeland, probably far enough back, that the league was not really up in arms with this still.
Well, of course, the municipal league has gone through a change as far as their leadership is concerned. And yeah, the last time I had a chance to visit with Steve, he was very concerned about the municipal league's lack of attention to this commission. And so, yeah, we may be out there.
Maybe
hopefully risk management will be as much as they can, considering the circumstances, be opposed to it, and we'll try to clearly demonstrate how damaging it could be to the legal environment. New Mexico is considered a judicial hellhole anyway, and just add on to this, add this would just make it even worse. And so it's a very difficult to begin with as far as some of the law enforcement claims that we have seen come across, but certainly is something, if we get this thing down, it will be very, very helpful. So I do appreciate the commission taking this action at the recommendation of the New Mexico counties, the NMCIA, and because I think it's very, very critical at this point. So thank you all very much. I did want to express that to you. Additionally, as I say, I serve on the board for NMCIA, and I want to thank Clay Corn for all of his contributions. I was very proud to serve on that board when Chaves County became the first detention center to be accredited, and then to pursue and be reaccredited on a couple of different occasions as well. So I think the first time we were accredited, it was Sandra Stewart that was there along with Clay Corn, and then of course she resigned and moved on, and Clay took over and kept that up. So Daniel, I would encourage you, you've got some big shoes to fill, but I know you're up to it. I've served with you on the risk management committee here at Chaves County, and I think you'll do a great job. So you do have some big shoes to fill, as I'm sure you're aware of, as you get more and more into that job. I think you are realizing the big responsibility of this, and so I hope you do well. I really do. So also, I'd like to thank Joe Cedillo. Joe and I would occasionally have meetings in his office, and I mean, we talked everything from politics to science to religion, and it was nothing was off the table as far as our discussions were concerned. Very interesting. Didn't necessarily always agree, but we always had some good discussions. And but I got his cell phone number, and I told him, well, we'll be calling and getting together and have some lunch once the restaurants are back open, and continue those discussions at some point. So, Joe, I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you for all these years, and wish you well in your retirement. And has been noted, or maybe some of you know, I'll be retiring at the end of the year. And so unfortunately, I won't get to work with Bill in his new capacity there. But I think you guys were very wise in appointing him. I think he'll do an incredible job for Chaves County. And so Bill, all the best. All right, thank you all.
Ron, before you go, Bill Williams, how long will it take to build a jail cell down in the assessor's office? And Sheriff,
We're gonna charge it to CARES.
Sheriff, I got your handcuffs, so you're gonna.
We don't need a jail cell, just handcuff him to his chair.
We're gonna have to have a bunch of jail cells, because we're losing a lot of great, amazing folks that have taken care of.
I agree with you, with Joe and Clay, Stan, and yeah. It's a major change in the guard here, but I think the Annabelle, Bill, Daniel, I think they'll do a great job. So,
do you happen to have any recordings of yours and Joe's conversation?
We actually solved a lot of things.
Yeah.
Nobody was listening.
Nobody was there to take their advice. So, yeah. So anyway,
Ron,
thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Anyone? You get anything from Facebook? Nobody writes anything yet? All right. Oh, Sheriff.
Yes.
I apologize.
The good news and the bad news. All right, I'm Mike Harrington, Sheriff of Chaves County, number 1 St. Mary's Place. First, I want to thank Stan, Joe, Daniel, Commissioner Corn for your dedication to this county and your hard work. It has been truly a pleasure to work with every one of you and to see that you have the same commitment that we all in this room have, and that is to make Chaves County a better place. And I want to say congratulations to Bill on making that. I think things are going to go very well. And same thing to Daniel. Daniel is the man for the job out there. I worked for him for a long time, but he's been my best friend since middle school. And if there's anybody who can take the bull by the horns, he's the guy to do it. He's no nonsense, but great at what he does. And I hate to see him leave my department, but he's going to do a great job out there. And so I'm very, very proud to say that he is my friend and that he's going to do good out there. So today we will have the meeting or we'll all get to watch the governor. And I predict that it's going to be much worse. Everyone thinks it's going to be better. I believe it's going to be much worse. The numbers is all that she looks at. And because the numbers are higher, she is going to implement further restrictions. And I'm going to tell you, by shutting down grocery stores is one of the worst things that you can do when there's nothing on the shelves in these stores with the number that we already had. That means that it's even going to get worse. And I have had the people from the community calling me. The morale of the people is at the lowest I have ever seen. Like I said, we have suicides, we have domestic violence, we have child abuse. And when the governor says, do not take your child out of the house, don't take them to the store, don't do any of this stuff, nobody is seeing some of these kids where they could possibly be with a sexual predator. And there's nobody for those kids to tell. And it makes me sick, truly makes me sick. The other thing for local businesses, one of the things that I know is fear is real. It's not the fear of the COVID. It is the fear of losing everything that they have that is driving people to the point of doing things they don't normally do. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to see a whole lot more of it as it goes. And I just don't understand the mentality of our governor to say the best option is to keep everybody home and not just those who are sick. Within my department, I've had 4 of my personnel, 3 of them being deputies, 2, and 1 of them being civilian that have tested positive for COVID. Every single one of them, after being home for 1 day, have called me on the phone and said, hey, I feel fine. Can I come back to work? Because when you're out of work for 14 days and the people in this room who are retiring are about to learn this, your home, which is your castle, becomes your prison when you're home for a long period of time. So you have to get busy. You have to get out there and do what you need to do. So it's very important that we know that this is not dangerous to everybody, but to those that it is dangerous to, they know that they need to stay home. They know that they need to be doing these things. So my message is, by saying all that, Governor, let us get back to business, let us open up, let us get to work, and we can deal with whatever else comes. I want to thank the local businesses here in Chaves County. They gave us a donation of $15,000 to start my K-9 program. So on January the 2nd, I will have Deputy Gage Kennard. He will be my K-9 officer. He is going to Texas, where he will be chosen by one of three of the dogs there to become his handler. So he doesn't get to choose who he's going to take home, they choose him. And that's kind of one of the funniest things I've ever heard, but that's the truth, that's what they told us. So that's how that works out. And we've already got the cage coming for the car, for our unit, we've got everything underway. So on the 15th of January, we will have a K-9 unit that we will be using not only on the streets, but we will be using that in the jail in cooperation with Daniel Ornelas. And it's one of the things that you just talked about during the beginning of this, we police our own. Yesterday, we ended up arresting one of our correction officers for excessive force, for assault on actually aggravated battery on a person. So we police our own, and that is important for our legislators to know. We, within the smaller communities that have smaller agencies, know everybody, and we are able to see when things aren't going right, and we deal with that. So let the local law enforcement police their own, and I think things are going to be fine. Also, I want to thank Church on the Move for the $10,000 donation that they gave us, which has already been put to use. We have sent 12 guys to SWAT school. I have 6 more going at the end of this month. And once that happens, we will have a completely functional SWAT team. And as you guys have seen, the MRAP that's out there, we've already been moving forward to become self-reliant. But we are in a time right now when we have to have these things and not have to worry about relying on another agency to come forth because they are busy with their own things. So it's very important. And I want to thank each one of you for your support, your being the backbone of Chaves County and standing with me during this fight, because we have a long way to go. A long way to go. And I can just tell you, I think with today's talk from the governor, I think things are going to get worse, because we truly in Chaves County, actually in the southeastern New Mexico, have a group that's ready to go to war. They're ready to go to war. And you close down their access to food, I'm telling you, you're going to have problems. You're going to have some serious problems. So take away their livelihood, take away their food, and then we will be in a war. So thank you for everything, and I don't know, leave it at that.
Sheriff, thank you. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Before I get ahead of myself. Okay. Cat Stamp Griggs.
Yes, sir. As Mike mentioned earlier, we are working on the Ascent project. It looks like maybe December when we start that process in front of the commission, and maybe January, one or the other. We're not 100% sure yet. But Bill and I did meet with the city this week twice, and we are on the path at least to get going with this $5 million, whether Ascent happens or happens down the road. But we've got a plan now, I think, and we're working on an MOU with the city to start to spend that 5% in the southeast side on some lines around Mystic, and take some water lines and some sewer lines past Mystic and do some things. So we are working that direction. I don't know that we will get to a final decision on that money anytime soon, but we'll get the first 5% spent for sure. So that's good news. I want to thank Annabelle and Joe and his staff. I can tell you, Fredo, Bill are really getting creative on this CARES Act money, as you can hear. But seriously, we have had costs. I think we didn't realize some of the costs that we've had and some of the things we can use this money for. And we're doing that, and I want to thank her for that. She's kind of the guru of all of that. And now I hadn't heard the tipping fees, but hey, COVID makes more trash. So more people at home, trash goes up. So that's kind of the attitude that we've taken, and I want to thank them. I want to thank Susan and Tim for their COVID response. Susan's kind of the COVID czar, and you have to get a hold of her, and she coordinates everything and runs that, and has done a great job doing it. We're not on any watch lists, but we do report, and we have had to deal with OSHA and State Environment Department and such, but things are are going well. We're doing well on that. And Tim is going out and doing the cleaning. We put him in his hazmat suit and off he goes. And he looks like something out of Ghostbusters, but he's cleaned a lot of parts of this building and other buildings that we have. They've done a great job. And we, quite frankly, couldn't be open right now without with the work they're doing. Law enforcement is essential, and we know that, and we have had outbreaks at the jail and the sheriff's department, but they're doing everything they can do. They're taking the right precautions, and we're making the cleanings. We clean the cars, we clean everything. It just is what it is, and we are gonna have to learn to live with it. That's just what we're gonna have to do. Our building is closed to the public unless you have an appointment. Make an appointment or make it a call, we'll let you in. We're still collecting taxes, we're still doing the things that we're doing. I know a lot of counties have closed and they're not allowing the public in at all. We allow them in when they call and make an appointment. So we're still trying to keep operations as close to smooth as we can be. I have had talks with Joe Nebb, even last night, with regards to if the city's gonna do anything, if the county's gonna join the city, if anything's done with regards to the closing of grocery stores. It makes no sense to close grocery stores. You're forcing people to go to congregate at one grocery store, and that makes no sense. And the panic is real. I got a ton of calls last night. I talked to the chairman last night. I know all of you got calls. It's scary, and it makes no sense from a public health wise. I don't really understand it either, but definitely public safety. We've got a lot of scared people, and it's going to have to get better, just because people will take things into their own hands. And so we are committed to working with the city if we need to do ordinances, resolutions, whatever. We want to do that. I want to thank Clay. Clay Corn took over the jail and did a great job with it. Daniel's going to do a great job with it. I know that the right person stepped up, and we were blessed to have that. We feel good about it. Joe, man, I'm serious when I tell you, I had a lot of nights where I could sleep because Joe told me things are good. No, that payment's going to be made. We're good. And I think it's just a testament to see right now, we just, we have very small debt. Our income to debt ratio is incredible. We hear that from Moody's, we hear that from Standard & Poor's all the time, the different groups that, you guys are doing something right. Obviously we are. I can remember Commissioner Corn and Joe having discussions, deep discussions on tax. It's one of those things that's, I kind of liked it, but you almost have to be really into that kind of stuff to really appreciate the depth of the discussion, because otherwise you fall asleep. It's real think tank kind of discussions and real deep in the weeds. As you say, and when you go on the radio and stuff, oh yeah, how was that conversation? You wouldn't want to be there if you didn't like it. If you weren't a wonk, you wouldn't have liked the discussions, because they were some deep discussions. But I remember when Joe first came on, I think he'd been here about a year, maybe two, we had a commissioner. We ended the fiscal year, and we received more revenue than we thought we were going to receive. And we had a commissioner say, you guys really blew it. We thought he was kidding. Okay, yeah, we're glad we got more revenue in it. He said, no, Joe's forecast was really off. We were like, yeah, well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. We got more than we thought. And as we're leaving, he said, yeah, well, I'm disappointed, but you guys try to do better next year. And I remember hitting that door, and Joe goes, is he serious? I said, I think he may be. Joe was like, God, these people are rough. We got more money than we thought. I'm like, well, welcome to local government, Joe. And he was like, that makes no sense. So I'm glad he stayed after that. He's been a good friend, good person, and extremely reliable. So thank you, Joe. Appreciate all you do. Annabelle, ready? I know you're ready. And Joe's been working with you, I know, and he's a great mentor, so we're all ready. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks.
Stan, thank you. Commissioner Corn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not going to make any remarks about my pending exit out that door for the last time as a commissioner. Joe, I'm a little upset with you. I thought we had a deal that you, Stan, and I were gonna walk out the door together and jump the gun. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you now.
Had to be slightly unique.
Well, there's a lot of change going on in Chaves County. Joe, it's been a real pleasure to work with you. I enjoyed those deep in the weeds conversations we had, because you and I understood what we were saying. And it gets pretty deep sometimes. Annabelle, good luck in your deal. I won't be here to have those deep in the weed conversations with you. Daniel, I've known you for a long time. I think you were just a patrolman when I was a judge, and we had lots of conversations, and I think you'll do a great job. Clay's leaving some big shoes for you to fill, but I think you're capable of doing that, and that's a good thing. And Bill, I know you don't have the reins entirely in your hands yet, but I'll come around and check on you from time to time. Don't want you to stray too far. The other thing, Mikey, you've been a breath of fresh air. Been some tough times trying to get all this stuff weaved in and taken care of. But it's gonna get better. We're gonna figure out a way to get out from under this dark cloud, if we're given the opportunity to figure it out. As long as we're dictated from Santa Fe or Washington, it makes it hard to make those decisions, because we don't feel like we can make those decisions. It's kind of, what do you call it, Sheriff, whenever the government takes over?
About martial law or something?
Martial law. Feels like we're living in martial law. And that brings me to my final comment. Elections, we just had an election, and those elections have consequences. Could be good, could be bad. But for my entire life, it seems like New Mexico's been the bottom of the good list and on top of the bad list. And all those people are still in places to make a difference. They have made a difference, kept us on the wrong list. And I'm really, really concerned about this change in the civil caps and our ability to do business. You know, there's a great article in the Albuquerque Journal the other day, and I'm not a fan of his, but Bernalillo County Sheriff made a comment. We bit the bullet. We put cameras on everybody in the patrol units. But it is. It's another one of those unfunded mandates. And hopefully, the legislature will eventually get around to, whenever they make a mandate on local governments, they at least pick up part of the tab initially. But that doesn't seem like that's part of the mix. So, Andrea's not here, but she's done a tremendous job in a very short period of time at the Roswell Chamber. They literally rolled up their sleeves, got their fingers in the dirt, and got things turned around, and they're headed in the right direction. Are they out of the woods yet? No. But they're well on the road, and that's good. So, been a good run, and I'll save the rest of my comments for next time, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Corn, thank you. Commissioner D.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Rita did clarify that she had 21 skunks, so she's doing good. She's doing good. She's eradicating Chaves County of skunks. I guess that's the only thing we can do at this point. But I just want to say thank you to Chaves County, the staff. Goodness gracious, we're losing a lot of years, and we're losing a lot of great knowledge. But what's nice is we are gaining some knowledge that has been passed down to those that are taking over. And I thank you. I think we're going to be in great shape. Appreciate you stepping up to the plate. It's always hard to come in and say, yes, I'll do that. So I thank you very much. I think Chaves County has always been in great shape, and I think we're doing well. Like I said, when we actually got to meet at the Association of Counties, Chaves County, every time somebody passed me, they were, "Where you from?" "I'm from Chaves County," and they were kudos. Chaves County's great. You guys do things really well. We have a great staff. We have great leadership. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for stepping up and being that leader. That's what it takes, is leadership. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Andrea. Goodness gracious, for being creative, for stepping up, for trying to find ways to help our businesses, to bring in new business. It's going to be a tough, we keep talking about months or whatever. It's going to be years. It will be years before we see, I mean, the snowball effect is just going to be amazing on all of this. But thank you for stepping up to the plate and helping here and now, because the businesses and people here in Chaves County, they're living here and now. I think they thought the future was there, but they're having to live day to day, some of them hour by hour. And as Mike had put it, we heard on our last DWI Planning Council, we heard from CASA, we heard from Roswell Independent School District, we have heard from various agencies. And yes, it's bad out there. Families are struggling. Domestic violence is up, like you said. Suicide's up. Kids not being able to eat. I mean, Roswell Independent School District told us, okay, they've got the meals out there. It's just the parents don't know how they're going to get out there. So there again, we've got to find creative ways of getting help to these families. And if we're going to pay departments, and here again, here's our budget coming on high from Santa Fe, if the money's going to flow in, we've got to be creative. Our departments have to be creative. Our agencies have to be creative in getting the funding and the help out there. We have asked time and time again, I know, for the Department of Health to come in and give us an update on stuff, and I guess it's fallen on deaf ears. I guess they don't want to come in and address local elected officials. That's a shame. I'm sad that they don't want to answer questions, I guess. But, you know, it's sad. It's going to get worse. Like Mike said, it's going to get worse, especially with more and more shutdowns. So we hope that as maybe an elected body and resources maybe here, maybe we can get out there and do some stuff and help keep this county, help keep the citizens of this county going. Maybe we need to step up and get creative and try and find some things helping with families. And maybe, as Commissioner Ezell said, let's get creative and maybe get some of that CARES Act, some of the money, COVID money, and maybe help some of the families too. So, but thank you, Mike. You're out there on the lines, you see it every day. It's just gonna get worse before it gets better, but maybe this legislative session, if they have it, some legislators will stand up and get a backbone and tell this governor, no, we can't do it. Citizens, write the governor, call the governor. They need to hear from you, because we heard it all the time in Santa Fe, and I'm sure Commissioner Korn heard this too. We would hear it in committee, oh, we assumed that everything was okay because we never heard from anybody. Now's the time to have your voice heard. Call, write, email, tell her what's on your mind. Tell her how your family is suffering, because maybe that's the only way we can get through to this governor, because apparently she's not listening to anybody else. And I I know from other agencies, they're not even at the table with her, giving her suggestions. The Restaurant Association, I see that. A lot of these agencies aren't even at the table. A lot of these organizations aren't even at the table. She's doing this all on her own. So maybe that will help if you tell her your story and you let her know what's happening to your family. So with that, thank you to the staff and the leaders of Chaves County. We sure appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner D. Commissioner Zell, are you awake? Are you still there?
Oh, I'm sorry, I had it on mute because the dogs were barking.
Oh, well, I heard, I thought you were trying to put your mask back on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got a short agenda, but we ran it long, so I'm going to be brief. I want to thank Clay Corn for a quarter of a century of dedicated service to Chaves County. I don't know whether Clay's still there or not, but Clay, I will miss knowing that you're out there. Daniel, if you're there, welcome to our family. You will find out that it really is a family. We operate like one. And from what I know about you, you are the right guy for the job. And I look forward to working with you. Joe, I deeply regret not having been there for your final meeting. Your departure soliloquy was the most moving I've heard since Robert E. Lee's Farewell to the Truth.
Dang.
I think I do a pretty decent job on the budget committee, and the only reason I do is because everything I know about our budget and our process, I learned from Joe. I only wish I had enough time for him to teach me not only everything I know, but everything he knows. Joe, you've been an inspiration to me, and I want to continue our relationship. And Mr. Chairman, that's all I've got.
Commissioner Zell, thank you. Mr. Bilberry.
Yes, I just want to reiterate everything that's been said. A lot has been said this morning, and Andrew Moore and Mike Espiritu, you guys, I know you're probably gone, but you guys are the tip of the spear in a lot of ways for our county, for our economic development, and for our businesses there, and I want to thank you for that. Sheriff Harrington, keep up the good fight. I'm here if you need me. I appreciate all that you do. Clay, it's been a pleasure to be a part of the commission and watch you work out there and what you do, and I wish you luck on your new endeavors. And Joe, I don't know you very good, but I know enough to know about finances to know that you are a guru, and there's a lot to be learned, and still you leave a legacy there with Annabelle, and I just appreciate what she's going to do, and I appreciate everything that you've done for us. Bill, I'm looking forward to working with you and moving forward, and you're a constant, and you always seem to have an answer for any question, and if you can't get an answer right away, well, you'll find an answer, and I appreciate that. A couple of weeks ago, I had some people ask me about what Chaves County was doing because of the COVID and how we were handling it and all the shutdowns that could be coming, and they were in a different county, and I just told them, I said, well, if you're tired of living in that county, come to Chaves County. I said, we'll take care of you. So that we have the greatest county there is in the state and all the people that work in it. And I appreciate all of you. Commissioner Ezell, you do have pants on, but you did not tell us what kind. So that's my parting shot. Thank everyone.
Commissioner Bilberry, thank you. Gosh, I couldn't agree more with all the comments that have been made today about all the folks that have served us here in Chaves County so well, and all those that are stepping up to follow in their footsteps. That's what families are all about. When we have someone that moves out of a position, well, we don't start looking around the country for someone to replace them. We've got our folks right here because we all work together so well, and we work to fill those shoes within our ranks. And that's why I believe Chaves County is one of the greatest, if not the greatest county in this country, in this amazing country. With that being said, we really need to talk about this COVID stuff a little bit, especially with Thanksgiving coming up and how important Thanksgiving is to our families and the Christmas holidays that are coming up and the things that are going on in our state. And one of the first things is that we cannot live in fear of this. We just can't. One of my best friends' moms passed away last week, and she didn't die of COVID. She died because of COVID, because she wouldn't go to the hospital. She wouldn't go to the emergency room because she was afraid that she would catch COVID at the emergency room. So that's just another one of the underlying anxieties and fear and confusion that has been brought along with this and has been sold throughout our country. And really, it's very unfortunate that this has been made political. Instead of both parties, Republicans and Democrats and everybody else, coming together to solve the problem, they used it as a political weapon, and the fear and anxiety, and the confusion that's come along with it. And now with what the governor is doing with shutting down these places, you're on the edge if you're not already there. Some real mass hysteria in this state, not only here in southeastern Mexico, but you start closing all these grocery stores down. My gosh, everybody, even if you're going to have Thanksgiving for just your family, and you hadn't already gone and got that turkey, or you hadn't got whatever it is that you like to serve, and now the shelves are being cleared off, you shut down these grocery stores, and their shelves are still full, but they're closed. It really creates a really bad situation for all of us. And I think, we, at the beginning of this, back in March and April, we brought the doctors in to talk to us about it. Do we need to take this stuff serious? Absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But with that being said, people have got to be given that opportunity to be smart, be vigilant, and use common sense. When you have people that are told what they have to do, that's really the wrong message. And so today, as Will Cavan, County Commissioner, I'm asking folks, okay? I'm asking the citizens of Chaves County to use some common sense. I was on a phone call, one of our conference calls with White House, the Surgeon General, everybody yesterday, and it's really some pretty common sense things if everybody would follow it. You know what? If you're going to be out in public, you're going to be a group of a bunch of people at this point in time, put a mask on. Who cares? Wear the mask. Put it on. In this particular case right now, people are watching. I have my mask down because I'm speaking, but I've worn my mask the whole time now. But use that common sense. The 3 W's. Wear your mask. Wash your dang hands. If you're doing anything, wash your hands. Don't be sticking your hands in your mouth or picking your nose or anything else if you've been out doing stuff with your hands. Wash your hands and watch your distance. Keep your social distance in these events. Okay? Right now, we're in this environment. Just use some common sense. Be smart about it. Be vigilant, and just do what needs to be done. We've had 300 cases reported in the last 2 days. Don't know what the number's going to look like today. 300 cases in Chaves County, 3 deaths. And unfortunately, most of the deaths that happen from this are for folks that have underlying conditions, like a lot of our grandparents have, or people that we know and love, okay? Show them that respect and do this. If you think that you might have symptoms, by all means, go get the test. Go have the test done. Who cares, okay? As a public elected official, I've had a COVID test done now 12 times. A couple of those times I had to do that because of medical reasons, they're having surgery or whatever. But it's nothing to be afraid of, and go do the test. And if you happen to be found positive with it, then manage it properly, okay? That's people won't go get the test done. They think they have like a strep throat or they cold or whatever, so they don't go do anything about it. But if you don't manage it properly, that's when problems happen, and that's when it gets bad. So just use some dang common sense with this. The elections aren't over, folks, and I mean I don't know. We got some big things that are happening around this country, so everybody's got to be smart and not get caught up. I had somebody send me an anonymous bill in the mail the other day telling me to take my Trump fight down, and then I needed to support Biden because he's going to be president. Let me just make sure everybody's clear. If and when the election is over and Joe Biden is the man who's going to be the president of the United States, he's going to be my president. That's Barack Obama was my president, George Bush was my president, Ronald Reagan was my president, and Donald Trump was my president for the last 4 years. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we've got to come back as a nation and start working on solving problems instead of things being about politics and being Democrats and Republicans. I know I made the comment earlier, the fact that we are energy independent in this country right now. And you have a group of people that go by the name of the Squad or whatever out in Washington, D.C. that are trying to push this new Green Deal. And I just don't think that they quite understand where the food, the vegetables, and the things that come into the supermarkets all across this country, where that stuff comes from. Number one, it's got to be grown and produced by farmers and ranchers and everybody that are using fossil fuel type vehicles to get that stuff done. And then from there, you got truckers that are using fossil fuels to get that stuff to where it needs to go. I mean, and there's so much, well, we can go all electric. Well, I don't think they realize that you're working off of fossil fuels so that you can go all electric. So it's an insane thinking process. And if everybody would use some common sense and try to be, what I say is be energy opportunists. Use the solar, use the wind, use your fossil fuels, but don't sit there and try and force people one way or the other. And I think that's the problem that we've gotten into with our country right now. And Republicans, Democrats, everybody's going to say you got to do it this way, and that's where people they take exception to that. And I mean, Sheriff Harrington, I know you're dealing with it, and I see it. And that everybody's telling the governor, you're not going to tell me what to do, okay? The governor shouldn't be telling any of us what to do, how we have to do it, when we can do it. But if she would use some common sense and ask the citizens of this state to use some common sense and protect yourselves, protect your families, protect your loved ones, she would go a lot further. But shut Sam's down and shut the Albertsons down, and whatever else she's going to come with today at 3 o'clock. I can only hope that she comes to some common sense between now and 3 o'clock and figures out that she cannot be dictatorial in this state. You can't do it. You're not going to get anywhere, and all you're going to do is cause more problems. Okay, Sheriff Harrington, your hands are going to be full. Thank you and your guys. Daniel, thank you for taking over. We appreciate it. We know you're going to do a great job there. Everybody, I could go on down the hopes, and we got to go ahead and shut this deal down because we've gone way beyond what was a short agenda. This is a great family. This is an amazing family that we have here in Chaves County, and everybody is greatly appreciated, and everybody steps up when they need to get things done. God bless everybody here. Thanksgiving next week. God bless this country, and thank you, everybody. And please be safe. Do what you need to do. Use some common sense, and let's get past all this. With that, we are going to adjourn so we can go in, sign documents. And gentlemen, on the phone, you get a chance. I know Elise would appreciate it, and you get by and get those documents signed for. With that, thank you, everybody. God bless. Elise, you have
I can
something?
make deliveries for signatures tomorrow also.
I'm sorry, what?
I can make deliveries for signatures tomorrow also.
Make deliveries?
Yes.
You're gonna drive to Alida and go out to the ranch and,
I can.
okay, so you guys coordinate that.
Yeah, maybe we
You
can
guys-
get 70, because I am in a little Toyota Camry, but.
You guys can coordinate that with the lease and we can write that off on our CARES Act stuff for
There
for
you
fuel.
go.
We get Sam before he wants him.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.